doing? Welcome to Bengals Army. I got Dale Santori and Pork Chop on here. About to talk some combine and some players we're liking. Chop's getting wild on this Friday night.
That's
How you boys doing?
Cheez-Its.
Lasers, man.
Yes, Cheez-Its.
Cheez-Its. Yeah, I do. Snack mix, man.
Dude, my dog was eating about 50 of them. My daughter, I look over and she's throwing them earlier today. And I'm like, what the hell is she throwing? And she dumped the bag, about half the bag out, and then tossing it to the dog. I'm like, dude, don't do that. She's like, oh, she likes them. I was like,
I bet she does.
That would have been Chop. That's what I'm gonna do to Chop at the event that we have, the draft event on night 2. I'm just gonna throw cheeses on the floor and say, "Come here, boy, come here."
Get the snack mix though, Dale, because it's got these
all right.
It's got these other pieces in it, like pretzels and little bread chips and Cheez-Its and little puffies. It's pretty good. I recommend it.
Let's do it.
Unless your fucking show's brought to you by Cheese Nibs, and then I don't like that shit at all. I would go with your thing, Dusty.
Yes, sir. Well, you guys want to jump into? I don't know. I'm a bit distracted right now. I don't even know what you said to go with your thing. What were you talking about?
I was saying that I didn't want to promote Cheez-It on your show if you're not brought to you by Cheez-It. They should get you an endorsement.
All right, my bad, man. My bad. It's been a long.
Bengals Army brought to you by Cheez-Its.
Yes, right. By Cheez-Its, man.
All right, Santori, give us a intro if we were brought to you by Cheez-Its on Bengals.
Yeah, like we're brought to you by Cheez-Its. Snack mix.
I don't know. Cheez-Its?
Welcome to Bengals Army, brought to you by Cheez-Its. Something like that.
You are watching live to Bengals Army with Pork Chop, Dusty, Dale Holman of Bengals&Brews, brought to you by Cheez-Its, the square ones. I don't know. Snack Mix Classic. Try it now. On shelves, $12.99 at Kroger.
That's right, man. On sale. Let's go. Buy one, get one more, same price.
All right, now we have to focus.
Yeah.
Now we have to focus.
Wait till you get that check.
Draft.
I'll give you a pinch, Santori. Don't worry about it. I'll slide some your way for that.
Hey, look, Greg's in the chat. He likes your background picture, Dale.
I didn't even know it was my background picture, Greg, till Scott changed it, and then I saw it. So that was the background.
Oh, man. Oh, look, your background picture's on sale for $12.99 now.
On sale for $12.99.
Get a picture. That's what we should have at the game day thing. We should also get this picture. Greg can sign them for people with the Can Titty guy.
God, can we please print out a bunch of them?
Done.
We just got Greg propped up in a corner with a giant bottle of Midwest Best barbecue sauce, signing shirtless pictures with a Sharpie.
Right. Yeah,
autograph everything, Greg.
10 for $1. Let's go.
10. I like it. I'm just gonna go with that.
All right.
All right, Dusty, back on track. We're on Bengals Army.
There was a point to the show.
Did the show start?
Yeah, it's rolling.
Oh shit!
Chop, you can't cuss on here.
You guys can. I don't care.
Oh,
maybe not super crazy, but we're good.
Tempt us with a good time.
You're good, Chop. You're good, bro. All right. So
considering I just thought the show just started, so there's no more cursing.
No, you can, man. You're fine. You're fine. All right. So you guys did you finish up your little what do you want to call it, the draft guide?
It is the only draft guide we're getting, by the way.
We are so we're done watching and evaluating. We've gone through at least 230 because there's a best of the rest section with I don't even know how many players are on there.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
We're down to taking our notes and making them look pretty at this point. It'll probably be the rough draft will be done sometime Sunday.
No, don't worry about that. It'll be out Wednesday.
It'll be out Wednesday. There's probably going to be about 265 pages. I'm on about page 40 or 50 right now.
Okay.
Let me say, I've seen a preview. I saw a preview of it, and no offense, Dale, but when it comes to quarterbacks, I got to go with Santori. My preview.
Oh, jeez.
I'll have to look at the rest of it and see where I fall. But as far as quarterback ratings go, thank you, Mr. Miles.
Jaden Daniels is not quarterback one.
He is. He's going to go number 1 overall.
Well, he had a good enough season to say he was the best quarterback this season. He's not quarterback one.
How surprised would you be if he goes number 1 overall?
I would be shocked. Personally. But keep in mind, my rankings are not where I think they're going to go. That's just my personal, how I like them.
Well, you were spot on with that one, though, Santori. I got to tell you. Good job.
You got through one page and saw one player and went, we're good.
Right.
Done. He said,
screw the other 229. I've seen what I need to see.
Yep. I saw it.
All right.
Dude, that one kid's been being weird, bro. What's his name? Caleb
Williams.
The USC.
Yeah, he's a
little different. Hard to like.
He's throwing up some red flags for sure.
I don't have him. The arm talent, the athletic ability, I don't have him. But no one's watching this show for us to talk all these prospects right now. Let's get into Bengals because we don't need a quarterback. We have Joe.
We certainly don't.
Joe Shiesty.
MF and Burrow.
Although when we did our mock earlier today, Caleb Williams was available to us at pick 18.
Yeah, that was the dumbest thing I've ever
That
seen.
was some stupid stuff. That was so stupid. Thank you. I told you I worked in radio, man. I know how to not curse. Plus, my mom is a saint.
Well, my mom's not, but that's all right.
Yeah, I would curse around your mom all day, Santori.
And my mom's dead.
Well,
I curse around her too. Not gonna lie.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
So Braden Fisk, you guys want to talk about him a little bit?
Yeah.
Let's hear you guys' thoughts on him because I've seen people rising him up quite a bit. And I think maybe just what we see at the combines matching some of the stuff we saw at the Senior Bowl and matching his tape. You guys feel like his age matters, or do you like just the way he's developed and he's ready?
I'll start and I'll kick it to you, Santori. So for me, I've had him as a second round guy, loved his tape, but it is 24 years old. I didn't expect him to test as well as he did. I'm just going to be honest. I didn't know he would test like freak show wise. Like his RAS score was like a 9.88 or not, it was something crazy. And so good for him. But he's a dude that loves the ball. And he's a guy that's going to win you a lot of games either way, no matter what. And for the Bengals wise, he's a guy that like, hey, we're in a Super Bowl window with Joe Burrow. You're always in a Super Bowl window. The age a little bit doesn't matter when you're in a Super Bowl window. So I love the kid. I think he's great. It's going to suck when he goes to Kansas City at 31.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we kind of joked about that when we were going over our draft guide. Dale and I have been uncomfortably consistent with our evaluations on these guys. There haven't been too many that we've disagreed on. And from day one, we've kind of been a second-round pick with this guy. The Combine should never, in my opinion, raise your stock dramatically. It maybe if you're a nobody and it puts you on the map, sure. But if you're a second-round talent and then you ball out at the Combine, the only difference between a first-round and a second-round pick is honestly how many positions there are being picked. If there's like 8 quarterbacks, 1 year 2, the next year 1. It just kind of depends on how the dominoes fall. If you're a top 50 pick, you're a first-round talent. In all honesty,
it changes where you move. Especially like corners or wide receivers. Maybe it changes you one spot, same round though. It doesn't really change round evaluation.
It's not drastic. Where it helps him is where he is 24, and that does that does draw some concerns. I know a lot of people lean on that age thing like it's the end all be all. It's one metric of dozens that we use to evaluate, and nothing is set in stone. We don't have a crystal ball. There are some guys that come out at 24 years old and ball out. There are some guys that come out at 19 years old, 20 years old, and they're awful. Some guys are late bloomers. Some guys come out at 22 and don't get better until they're 24 or 25, sometimes 26 years old.
Or never.
I mean, it's just, it's so sporadic. We do know that the peak age for when you start to really come into your own is around 24 to 26 years old. That's when you hit your prime. So that's why it's scary to take somebody around 24, because you're like, have they already possibly plateaued? Well, when you're testing as high as you did at 24, knowing your body still has another year or so to really develop, that is a good sign. If he's 24 and he tests poorly, that's when you kind of start combining all these metrics to see if we can create a full picture. But there are so many things with him, specifically tape, because I'm one of those people that say tape is king. With this kid, that really the only poor metric is that he's a little bit older, and
arm length is this other.
I'm not a huge stickler on arm length, but I get it.
When you're that explosive, it doesn't matter. You have to be that explosive.
We're pairing arm length with something.
Yes.
If there's lack of explosion, lack of arm length, and he's 24, but we're hitting enough on some high quality traits that I'm willing to sacrifice with tape, that I'm willing to sacrifice some things here and there. He's probably a second round pick. If he goes in the first, it'll be the tail end, which is why we kind of joked about Kansas City. But I think he would be a good piece to have. I really do. If for whatever reason he's sitting there at, I think, pick 50 or whatever we're at. 49. Depending on how the board falls, what's available. I mean, that's going to be my answer to everything. But he was somebody that I would consider.
Okay, so Michael Hall. Oh, sorry, pork chop. You got anything, bud?
You have no comment.
Man, they said it because I'll tell you what, my opinion is their opinion because they tell me what it is, and then that's what I say. No, I'm just kidding. Like, I don't follow these college kids as much as they do. These guys live for the draft, man. Dale has got fucking draft board. I'm effing draft boards going 2 years from now. You know what I'm saying? Dale is already scouting people that haven't. They're in high school, middle school. Dale's already got a draft board going with him on it. Well, this is what he lives for. So I listen to him. He says what I should look for. I'll send him a message like, what about this guy? You know what I'm saying? And he'll tell me what he thinks, and then I'll look at the tape. So
to be fair, my opinion changes 1,000 times.
It does.
But I have a watch list.
Your opinion changes, but it's not like roller coaster waves. It'll be like little, fractional
spot. That's all I'm looking for. And that's what I'm looking for at the combine too. And it's also with the age thing, as far as Fiske being 24. It's like, if I got a comparable guy and I like both their tape the same, give me the 21-year-old.
Sure.
Yeah.
Always.
Right.
I'll take the extra 3 years always.
I can tell you that guy is high motor. But
it's how I feel about Dallas Turner and Jared Verse. I said this on the show earlier. I like both of them a boatload. Mm-hmm. But one guy's 21 and one's 24.
Yeah. The other thing that
I bumped the 21-year-old up when I like them that much.
The other thing that you have to take into consideration, I know you have because we've had endless conversations about it, that some people might not necessarily be throwing into this equation is transfer portal and COVID years. It's normally 2 and 3, not even 2 and 3, 5 and 6 years ago when I first kind of started dabbling in all of this stuff. If you were 22 and a half, it was like, ooh, you're getting old. You almost need for about a 5 to 10 year period now to tack on an extra year to 2 years to that age to consider what's really reliable, because people have been hanging around. And there's always going to be redshirt years. There's going to be COVID years. There's going to be situations like, this is extreme, but the kid down at the U who's on like his 9th year of eligibility or whatever it is. Things are going to happen, especially now with all these transfer portals and NIL rules, and kids aren't going to want to lose eligibility. There's going to be a consistency of guys coming out at 23 to 24 years old as time goes on that we haven't seen before. It's just going to be the way it is.
These athletes these days are different, though. Age is becoming less of it, I think, going forward. I mean, they're just different.
I mean, you just turned 13 yesterday.
That's right. I did just have my 13th birthday yesterday.
Well, and the more that you're seeing guys retire at 29, 30, 31, because you're starting to see that trend, starting back with, even though Megatron did it for a different reason, even with like Patrick Willis was right after that. He stopped at 31 years old, I believe, 30 years old.
Keekley,
another one. If guys are only going to play 5 to 7 years, and I know that I'm going to get that prime out of them anyway.
Yeah.
And I know that I'm not going to have to worry about a big contract at 30 years old. It's a different situation for me to draft them. Am I going to take them in the first round or second round? No, but I'm not necessarily hesitant to take them in the late second, third, or fourth round at all. And but definitely if they're day 3, easy.
For me, Fisky, we're in the Bengals, just to bring it back to Bengals related. We are in a Super Bowl window. Anytime you have Joe Burrow as your quarterback and things like that, if this guy is going to ball out this season for the Bengals, I mean, and a rookie contract, let's say, take him in the second round, that's 4 years. For 4 years, from 24 to 28, that's his prime, right?
Mm-hmm.
I take that guy, Dusty. What do you think about Fisky? Because I know you started this conversation. We haven't brought you in. It's your old ass show.
Sorry.
I wanted to hear what you guys had to say about him. That's why I wanted you on here. So
what are your thoughts about him?
So I liked what I saw through the year and stuff, and then kind of the concerns everyone talked about was his age, which kind of seemed to be the major thing, but his motor was something I always liked.
It's unreal. It's different.
Yeah. And then seeing kind of like what you said, nobody should rise and fall, some crazy thing at the combine. Tape shows all. So I agree with that. But it's nice to see the tape match what you think you see.
It validates it. It validates my second round grade on him when he was going in the 4th in some mock drafts. And I'm going, he's second round guy for me. And they test the way he does, I go, okay.
Well, that's really what the combine is in a nutshell. It's there for 2 things. It's there to validate what you've seen on tape. If you think a guy looks fast and they come out and they run a 3-4-4, 4-4-5, great. Or, if it looks like they're quick coming around the corner and they're running a great 3-cone drill, awesome. But the other thing the combine's used for is so that these coaches can actually talk to these kids. Right. That's the much more valuable asset of the combine. Everybody gets hung up on the underwear Olympics, and I know it's fun. We all love the 40. We all love to see where the bench presses come in. But if you ask any of these position coaches what they're looking at over the next week, it's talking to as many guys and getting in front of as many guys to pick their brain as possible. See what these guys are like.
About Terrion Arnold. He said, he just kind of lit up the room, loves football. I agree with that. Like going and seeing the players firsthand, the way they look, if their size matches a little bit like what the schools are saying, but also their personalities are huge. Do they love football, or is football just something they do? So
it's a huge validation check mark is what the combine is. It's one giant interview to get to know these guys.
Yeah, I agree. So Michael Hall, he's a guy that Ohio State everyone's talked about a lot. Did you guys have him rated, I'm assuming, below Fisk? Then
let me see where we've got him. Top of my head, it all blends together right now. To be fair, we've looked at as many as we have. We've got Michael Hall kind of tied with him. It's 1-1, but this was before the combine. So like I said, we don't use the combine to really shoot people up or drop people down. But if someone's neck and neck, in Trubisky's testing as well as he does, going into today and yesterday, they were basically tied. A little bit different types of players, but yeah, they're right in the same realm for where they should be picked.
Okay. We got Pork Chop on here, so let's talk about Chop Robinson. How do you feel?
yeah.
Do you feel he's a mid? You feel like Chop's a mid first round guy, or do you think he's more of the back of the first, early second?
Well, hopefully, I wouldn't be upset with a name like that. He comes right here to Cincinnati. I mean, to be honest though, man, the guy's got an elite name, so it sucks that he'll take that to another team. But that's most likely what's going to happen. But he's a good guy, man. High motor.
I do.
I wouldn't be upset with it.
I like stuff about him, but good.
I think he's going to go in the first round. What do you think?
What do you think, Santori?
Yeah, he should be first, back into the first, early second. It's going to depend how the board falls. He's definitely in the top 50 for sure. And I hate using that as a cop-out, but if you're in the top 50, you could go at any time in the first round. It just depends on if a team's drafting for need, what their best players available look like, what their current roster outlook looks like for the next 2 to 3 years. Wouldn't surprise me if he's anywhere from, pick 20 to pick 50, or, sometimes guys drop to pick 60, but he's definitely in that late first to anywhere in the second. If he would go to the third, it would be a travesty.
Right. Well, Jesus Christ. If he's there in the second round and we're picking.
Yeah, he's somewhere between like overall on my board, like 20 to 25. Like I haven't fully locked it in, but he's closer to 20 than he is 25 overall. If the Bengals, like, let's just say Bengals, even regardless of taking edge, because I don't think they're going to, especially the way they went out of their way to talk about Osai.
You're right.
Along with Murphy, and they're not getting rid of Hubbard. But with all that said, Chop is like, if Jared Verse was there, if Dallas Turner was there, if Laiatu was there, if the medical's cleared, those three would be more in the conversation for 18. But do I think Chop's worth the first round pick? 100%. Like, he is super talented and he tested really well, but that was expected because his production and stuff, like, I think is like the last 2 seasons been like 3.5 and 4.5 or something like that for sack totals. He's so explosive, so good. That should be higher. His production should be higher. But
so do you have Jared Verse? Do you think Jared Verse kind of resembles Miles Murphy a little bit?
No, not really. I mean, Verse is a freak. See, that was the thing with Murphy. He was 21. Verse is 24. It's just, and I don't want to get hung up on age, like we mentioned earlier. But Verse is, that's the only reason I have Dallas Turner over Verse. I think Verse is talented enough to be defensive end 1 in this class. Tape-wise, everything, he is that good. But I have him and Dallas Turner tape-wise very similar. And that is the only reason that is the biggest one where I'm like, I give the edge to the guy that's 21 instead of getting ready to turn 24. Both great players. They should honestly both be off the board before 18, in my opinion.
Yeah. So a little bit of later round pick would be Muhammad Kamara. How you guys feel about him? Because I've liked what I've seen of him. Do you guys have any input on the kid? He's probably a mid to later is what it seems like he's going.
I've got him as a 4th round guy. His tape is that good, but he is turning 25. Yeah. Colorado State doesn't always play the greatest competition, but they do play some good teams, and against those good teams, he's played with.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of where we start talking about looking at a full picture, right? He does have very, very good athleticism, but he's 25. He should look good against 19 and 20-year-old kids. He's 5 years older than them, right? He's much more physically matured. When you see pictures of him, just even on like YouTube thumbnails, the guy looks jacked, and like I'm talking NFL jacked. Well, it's because he's 25. He should be getting ready to enter his prime at an NFL level. Now you show that he's playing lesser competition. And he does play well against decent competition, but there are some aspects about him in the run game I don't necessarily like, and there's enough red flags that build up, and that's why he's in the 4th round.
Right.
Because the talent in the tape alone is enough for you to be like, yeah, I definitely want him on my roster, whether that's a back end guy, someone that can fight for a rotational spot.
You get him in the 4th round. I'm happy about getting him in the 4th round for the Bengals.
Sure, he's not somebody that you're going to build your defensive line around as a 1 or a 2 defensive end. But if he's your 3 or 4 or someone coming off the bench or that extra pass rusher, keep guys fresh late in games, then yeah, there's a lot of talent there, and we'll see. But there's a lot of things that kind of cloud his future with some inconsistencies on tape, the age, and the level of competition.
Yeah. And David, I mean, to go back to just Verse versus Murphy, but Verse definitely has better pass rush arsenal than what Murphy had coming out. Murphy got too far upfield. He was kind of a one-trick pony, but you saw the talent with Murphy, and he was 21 years old. And I still think Murphy, and we've seen it last year, the talent is there. That was a good pick for the Bengals. But like Verse he's going to go so much higher than Murphy because of the pass rush arsenal. Even though he's older, he's going to go so much higher. He is a better prospect still for Verse versus Murphy.
Well, and keep in mind, like you said, I know we're going to keep just blasting the age thing here.
Yeah, I hate
but 3 years of development for a pass rusher. Where's Murphy going to be with 3 years of learning pass rush moves with this defensive core?
Yeah.
I mean, if we're going off of pure
1 year,
raw
1 year of NFL experience,
right? If we're going off of pure raw talent, Murphy was constantly getting off the ball well. I mean, he had freak athleticism.
I like Murphy a lot.
He was just raw. If he was a spice, he'd be flour. We just haven't figured it out yet. But there's so much potential there.
But he wouldn't have made it to our pick if he had everything.
No, if he'd have had a full pass rush arsenal, he'd have been a top 10 pick.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any other D-line prospects you want to talk about, or you want to move on to maybe corner? I'm just trying to hit up defense because who else you got on the D-line?
Jonah Ellis, he said.
Ellis.
Everyone's sleeping on him.
Yeah. Dale and I are very high on Ellis.
I put a mock draft a little bit ago, and he was a dude I picked up in like the 3rd or 4th round. I think it was the 3rd. But no, I like him out of Utah, right?
Yeah.
I'll let Dale carry the conversation on this one, but I'll start with this. He has genuinely one of the best inside spin moves I've seen in at least the last 10 years. I mean, it is a vicious inside spin.
And he didn't test. He's coming off his shoulder surgery, but he's his measurement wise, he was like 6'2", 240 plus. And it's like he was comparable to the Chop Robinsons, these other guys, because it's like, how small is this guy? When you're watching, but it's like he's kind of a freak show when you watch him. You felt like you're watching a highlight tape at times watching some of his games. Now, if a tackle gets their hands on him, and you could say this about a lot of defensive end prospects, if a tackle gets their hands on him, a big ass tackle that is good and dominates them, it's gonna be a little rough at times. So. But he is also like 21 years old. I hate going back to this age thing.
Right.
But he really has not reached anywhere near the ceiling. And I think he gets undervalued. Like, there's a lot of places that have him 2nd, 3rd round. But it's like no one talks about him the way they talk about even Adisa Isaac from Penn State, whose tape is not near as good. It's just not.
Mm.
Now, Isaac, maybe do I put him a little ahead of it? I put him behind Ellis, personally. Braylon Trice. Braylon Trice weighed 30 pounds less than he was listed. That blew my mind.
It was water weight. Fell off.
30 pounds of water weight.
He had a diuretic before the combine.
So I take a diuretic. You don't lose 30 pounds.
No.
It was sarcasm, Chop.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Go ahead. Proceed.
But
are you eating peanuts? Just sitting there eating peanuts, tossing, throwing shade. I like it, Chop.
To John Ellis, though, I mean, you put on the tape. I really like him. I don't know where would I take him in the second round for the Bengals? Probably not with the caliber of guy. Because I was high on Joseph Asai. Like I know we got him in the third round, but he was a second round pick. I just said Carmen, this, that, and the other. Just you flop those, I would have felt better about that draft. I think Asai, and the way Lou talked about Asai, you can't rule that out. But Johnny Newton, you want to talk about Johnny Newton, Byron Murphy, any of those guys for D tackle? Because even though Newton Newton is worth pick 18 still, in my opinion.
Yeah.
No, Murphy.
I love Johnny Newton, and I like Murphy, and I think
Murphy 100% is as well.
I'd be cool with. What'd you say?
I said Murphy 100% as well is worthy of pick 18.
Yeah. I mean, both those dudes I'm super cool with. I feel like it's just been hammered in so much that I'm cool with doing like mid-round, deeper round guys that maybe people haven't heard of.
You want a hot take for a mid-round guy?
Yeah.
Someone I'm not high on at all, and I'll get blasted for this, but it's how I feel. I do not like Sweat out of Texas. A lot of people are really high on him. Man, if I'm a GM, I wouldn't touch him till the third or fourth round. And I know that sounds crazy because everybody loves it, but I'm like, here's the deal. He's got a weight problem. No one wants to talk about it, but he does. The tape is remarkably inconsistent. He doesn't get the push that he should. The pass rush skills are very limited, especially because he is a decent athlete for his size. He should be getting a better push than he does. And he was paired up on that line in that defense. When you've got that much help and it's just not constant on the tape, I mean, there's serious inconsistencies, and then he doesn't want to weigh in, and he's completely tanked his testing. These are the red flags that I'm like, man, I was already a fringe second round on you. Now I'm like, there's a lot of things working against him right now that would really have me concerned with him.
All right, Pork Chop, rebuttal because I know you love Sweat. Pork Chop loves Devondre Sweat.
I think he's going to be good, man. I think he's a good fill-in for DJ Reader. There's no better one in the draft. Who else are you going to get? DJ Reader's not going to start the season. He will still be hurt.
Probably not going to be a Bengal.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's injured. I doubt they even sign him. So if somebody else throws him money while he's injured, he might take it. I don't know. So what do we have? Devondre Sweat. That's what we got. A big giant guy in there who does the pass rush, just like he does the run blocking. So that's what we get.
Who was the guy that we drafted?
Yeah, run stopper.
Who was the dude we drafted a few years ago?
Tyler
Dale,
Shelvin.
we talked about him the other day. No, not Tyler Shelvin. He was a real big dude. He did powerlifting. I think he was in Baylor. Andrew Billings. Right. Do you get Andrew Billings vibes from him? Because Andrew Billings was a dude a lot of people mock to be like second round dude.
I loved Andrew Billings.
I did too.
I like Andrew
totally
Billings a lot.
Different body types though. Like Billings is like 6'6'1", and he's like 320, whereas you're 6'4", 360. There's just not many body types like Sweat.
No.
Okay,
At
Billings
the same
was
time,
320.
though,
For whatever reason, I thought Billings was a lot heavier.
Billings actually, like, if you look at it now, I think he's listed at 311, and Chicago just signed him to an extension. I think he's like 6'1", 311. Which you're like, well, that's a 3-tech, but that's, I don't know. It's just not who he is.
you know what, though, Darth? They said the same thing about DeJuan Jones, and he went up there and he played really decent at right tackle for Cleveland. You know, that's the thing. DeJuan Jones didn't go out there. He didn't get weighed and all that stuff, too. And he went up there, and it was a knock on him, and he fell in the draft. Cleveland took him, and he played pretty good at right tackle, didn't he?
I understand that, but the difference
So you don't
is
like
DeJuan
the tape
Jones. DeJuan Jones college tape was damn good.
Yeah, he blocked everything out. He didn't give up sacks.
You don't think Sweat's college tape looks good?
I think there are flashes, but I think on the whole, it's very pedestrian.
Marion Hobby will get him in line. Don't worry about it.
I'm tired of hearing about him.
Snap him into shape, Sam.
Everybody gets obsessed with watching highlights. If you can, and it's hard to find, go watch an entire game snap by snap of Sweat, and you're going to sit there going, he didn't do anything again. He didn't do anything again.
All right. So here's the thing. DJ Reader's out, right? So free agency went by. We need to draft. His position is probably going to start this year. Go ahead. Who is it? In the draft.
It's a 6th-round pick. It's Justin Rogers from Auburn. I hate to say that because DJ Reader is good. And you asked me this the other day, Chop. You said, knowing how good DJ Reader is, where would you take him? I said, probably the 2nd. But that's but DJ Reader, when he was coming out as a prospect and where he was drafted, was 5th round.
Right.
It's just hard to draft these guys that don't give you pass rush value in a passing league.
There will be several guys who are pushing 315 to 330 available on day 3 that can probably not as good as Reader because Reader's an all-pro. Reader, when healthy, I think we all agree is top of his game.
Yeah,
I'm not necessarily looking for that level. Are you
talking D tackle, or are you talking what Reader does? What Reader does, he's one of the best in the league at what he does.
And keep in mind, before
but
DJ Reader
pushes the pocket a little bit,
he does. But keep in mind, before DJ Reader was a Bengal, who was that big guy at zero technique eating up double teams all the time?
Pecco.
Okay. Pecco was a 4th-round pick.
4th round.
I'll be damned. So let's look somewhere between round 4 and 6. Who's guys from Auburn?
Remember when Pat Sims, maybe I thought Pat Sims was solid for what he did, and he was a 3rd-round comp pick guy, basically 4th round.
Well, and here's the thing. We love Pecco. Pecco's a Bengals. I don't know if he's a great, but he's in the Hall of Very Good for the Bengals.
He's famous. He's a
legend either way.
One day he'll be up for Ring of Honor.
If
he had the flow.
I would vote for him for Ring of Honor. We'll put it there. So I guess he's a Bengal legend. I guess that's the qualifier. So if I'd vote for that, I'll call him a legend. With that being said, I don't think he was 80% of what DJ Reader is when Reader's on it. You can find a quality run-stopping defensive lineman. It doesn't have to be a 330-pound zero technique. I'd rather have another guy like, give me a couple guys like Larry Ogunjobi or Wallace Gilberries that can push the pocket.
Well, that's Chris Jenkins in this draft, and people don't love that because they won't.
I like Chris Jenkins too. Geno Atkins played that position, and he was small.
Mm-hmm. Geno Atkins is more. Pecco played that with Geno.
Yeah.
Pecco freed up a lot for Geno.
Pecco was more a true 2 technique. Geno was more of a 3.
Yeah.
I'll be damned.
You guys can keep hammering this. I'm gonna grab a beer. I like it. but
Sorry,
what I want to hear is
let's go to the next topic and we'll just go with it.
Right.
Just tell me what to yell about.
If it's not Sweat, who is a guy that it would be? Murphy. If it's not Sweat, because I feel like there's a lot of 3-tech guys, a lot of dudes that can rush the passer right now in the draft. and maybe not as much run stuffing dudes. I could be wrong, but maybe I just haven't seen these guys.
And as David says, McKinley Jackson, but man, I'm so underwhelmed with him as well. Even his tape. And that's why I threw out Justin Rogers, because no one talks about him. He's not on our 230, but when I take that guy in the 6th round and say, hey, that's a big dude that's going to clog lanes.
That's the guy from Auburn?
Yeah. He used to play for Kentucky, transferred to Auburn
if you want a list of guys that I actually liked in, we'll go 2nd to like 5th round. I like Jenkins. We talked Fisky.
I like Jenkins too.
Well,
I did like Michael Hall.
Hold on. I think the question was more about the run stuffing type, the DJ Reader replacement. And I know you don't have to pigeonhole guys, but you do need some run stuffers, some more of that role.
It's
not a deep class for it.
It's not, and that's just because the NFL's moving away from that. There's maybe 4 or 5 guys in the entire NFL that fit DJ Reader's profile, and it's Matabuke, Reader, and even Wilkins is kind of a hybrid. He's not necessarily all Reader. But one of the other guys that, I really like coming out of this draft class, between Michael Hall, Jenkins, I like Dwayne Carter. I'm really high on Leonard Taylor. I know he's got his issues.
Fuck you.
I know he's got his issues.
But no cursing, Dan.
Yeah.
This is no cursing show.
Man. So I know, but shit, man. Nihao. I don't know what all he's saying, but Nihao, I know that, man.
He didn't listen.
Man. Nihao, brother.
Yeah, Nihao.
With that being said, another guy I love is Tyler Davis.
Yeah.
And I know he's older and he's got stubbier arms, but when you put the tape on with Tyler Davis, man, he's explosive in the middle.
Yeah.
There are guys that are going to be able to be disruptive that fit more of a traditional line than Reader. There's just not too many guys that fit that bill of DJ Reader. There might be 5 in the entire NFL.
I'll be right back.
So
just you and me.
All right, let's get off of D-line, cause
okay, get off the D.
So I would like to do a mock draft at the end of this. We're at 42 minutes, and we talked about D-line for a hot minute.
42 minutes? How the hell are we? I thought it was 5 minutes.
Yeah, no, we can keep doing this all day because I got a shit ton of names on here, and I love
Dusty,
talking
there's
about
no
them.
cursing on this show.
Keep
keep
firing away, and then we'll do the mock. I mean, this is what we do.
Yeah, so I like hearing Dale's opinion. Santori, obviously, you got really good insight, and Chop's personality just rounds out the show.
Yeah, basically.
Chop, you have no information, but I love that you're eating all these peanuts.
Go. Also, I have cherry pie.
Ooh, where's it from?
Private Selection, man. That's the bougie
Kroger.
Bougie Kroger.
Bougie Kroger.
Yeah, Private Selection.
So, can we go to cornerback?
Rook, man. Shit, I don't want to go back to the tackle, but Rook is solidly in round 2 for me. No.
Yeah.
Just
a row. However you say his name.
Reggie.
Row.
But so
I thought that was a typo when I first saw it. I was like, Dale, did you fall asleep on a keyboard?
Hamburgers.
Cam Hart. So once again, I'll go with these kind of mid-round dudes. Cam Hart and what's the dude's name?
Kyrie Jackson.
Kyrie Jackson. Yeah. So everything about them looks similar. I posted a thing about them. I like
Jackson's a better prospect in my opinion.
Yeah. I like Cam Hart, but I like what Kyrie Jackson does when the ball's in the air. Just the way, like, you see him just hit the ball out. And I think his arms are shorter from what we've seen in on like a RAS score that I saw. It looked like his measurables. He looked like about the same height. I think they're both 6'3", but his arms were a little shorter. But he's constantly punching the ball out and just timing the ball really well. I would be fine with taking either of those two in the 3rd round. I know in a lot of mocks you see them going more like 4th roundish. How would you guys feel about them? I'm just going to toss names and questions out, and we'll just keep.
I got
going
Jackson in the second, Hart in the third. I don't think either of them make it to the fourth, especially the value of corner. But I would take either of them, especially even with DJ Turner and Cam Taylor-Britt. I would take either of those guys because I don't know how soon DJ Ivey gets back.
Oh, that's
and
true.
I begged all last season, please let DJ Ivey cover tight ends with his arm length and his size. So I would be begging the same thing if we took either of those guys in, let's say, the third round. I don't need them to be my outside starting corner day one. Put them in that Trey Flowers role because Trey Flowers, good, but good for the role we needed him to be. That's all I want. Dax Hill can't cover those tight ends. He don't have the size. But those guys can. It's my opinion.
Passion, I mean, I like both of them. I would not complain in the third round, I think, with either of those two.
No.
Regarding Cam, I liked what I saw on tape. He's got a little bit of
grabby. He seemed, from things I saw, he looks like he gets a little grabby.
Well, I don't necessarily think grabby's a bad thing. He's physical. And I see him trying to punch the ball out. I do see him getting there a little bit late sometimes and kind of having to swat for the ball. I wish there was a little bit less separation, but some of that can be the scheme you're playing too. You know, depending if you're playing trail technique, cover two flats. You know, if you're asking him to play in Tampa, quarters, trail, hot, cold, depending on what you're having him do, that can make a difference. When it comes to Kyrie Jackson, I loved watching him close on guys. Specifically, if he was playing, let's say, soft zone, there was a check down to a running back, and he had to make an open field tackle. Dude's a missile. I think, you know, it was probably way early in the morning when I'm watching some of these guys, but I sent Dale a text that just said Kyrie can tackle. I think that's all I said. The dude just understands how to tackle, and we were talking about this on another show earlier today. When you build your team, you need to make sure you build your team to win your division first and foremost. And when you're playing against teams like the Steelers and the Ravens and the Browns, you need to make sure you've got guys that can tackle in the open field, specifically Lamar Jackson. So adding athletes with length and speed who are for sure tacklers is never a bad thing. And if a bonus, like Dale says, if he can end up covering a tight end, awesome. Can Cam Hart be that guy? Don't know. I probably lean a little bit more toward Tyree Jackson, but neither are bad.
Okay. Is there any other? I like TJ Tampa a lot. I mean, he's higher.
I love TJ Tampa.
Yeah, he's definitely a guy. I'm talking kind of third round dudes right there. He's a dude that's second round. I have no problem.
TJ Tampa is an early second round guy for me.
Yeah,
TJ Tampa is a legit football player.
Yeah,
I
love
cover,
that guy.
And he will hit the out of you. He is somebody that if he goes to the Ravens or Steelers, you're going to be really sad for the next 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
He's that TJ kind Tampa, of guy.
He's been my draft crush for a hot minute. That I like him a lot.
Yeah, and you know, I've been high on him too.
Yeah, we talked about him. I think we did a mock draft, and yeah, we both like, yeah, let's just get this dude.
Kalen Carson's an interesting one for me that David brings up here. I like him, but there is deficiencies. I've kind of had to slide him down my board a little bit, like late. I want him in the third, but talent-wise, if he goes to the end of the second, it wouldn't surprise me because he will hit you. Like, he's a good tackler. That has value.
There aren't many bad tackling corners in this class. That's something I noticed.
There's several, but
I don't think so. I think there's a lot of good ones.
That's why they're not high on my board.
Okay, so is there any other kind of mid-round dudes? I'm sure I'm missing some, but those are like my three like second, third-ish round guys. I'm sure there's a couple that I haven't really looked at that if you guys want to talk about them.
Santori.
I mean, with corners, it really, once you hit that back end of the third round, it takes a drop. It really, really takes a drop. The one guy
is still here, which I mean that's a Hilton replacement, and I think Hilton's still going strong.
I was gonna say that he almost reminds me of Dax Hill. I feel like they're cut from the same cloth, being kind of very, very versatile guys from Michigan. The one guy that, and I know we talked about this the other day, Dale, that I like is King, who tape and talent is first round, but there's some
Penn State kid.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
mean, he was a first round. All the mock drafts going in, like the early mocks going into this year, Dusty said, "F this is my show. I'm out."
Right.
But
can we cuss?
The early mock drafts going into this year, Kalen King had first round talent, but I just don't see it. And he had a terrible Senior Bowl too. But you see the flashes and you see the talent that Kalen King could be. I'm not he's a fourth round guy for me, but if he went in the second or third, obviously not going to surprise me.
I can't see him in the second just because there are inconsistencies. He would be somebody that he's on my board as a first round type of talent. And if he is sitting there at 4, I'm salivating at the opportunity, because when I draft somebody in the 4th round, I understand that they're going to be a prospect. There's going to be a deficiency somewhere. They're probably not going to play at a huge impactful level right away. Typically they're special teams guys or depth guys. But man, if it clicks, that's a steal.
Yeah. Well, I mean, unfortunately, that's what happened with Geno Atkins. Not that he had better tape. It was the size for him.
Mm-hmm. The size, he walked like a duck. He's just he's a little odd.
Is there any media? So in the backfield, defensive backfield, I'd like to talk about Kalen Bullock and Cole Bishop. I had to write their names down because I always mess them up, and I just about did.
Hey, Cole Bishop's the guy who fell asleep watching.
Yeah, I was gonna say I want to tell a story about Cole Bishop.
Yeah.
I was digging into that tape last night.
To finish up, safety's last one.
Yep, and I was like, oh my God. I was like, I kind of like this guy, and I'm like fading in and out. And then the next thing I know, I woke up because my phone hit my face. So the tape evaluation on Bishop right now for me, incomplete. The 45 seconds that I remember, I really liked. But I definitely need to watch that one again before I.
Well, you said
he's a good hitter.
You messaged me earlier and you said the Utah safety, and I said, well, there's 2 of them. There's Monty and there's.
Yeah, I said I think he's white, and you went, yeah, that one. I said, yeah, I got about halfway through. I said I got about halfway through that one and fell asleep, but I liked what I saw.
Okay, yeah, I like Cole Bishop a lot. I like that dude. And I like Kalen. Kalen Bullock. Yeah, from USC. So, would you guys use them? Are those kind of comparable to you? Are they interchangeable? I guess if you get one in the 3rd, but the other in the 4th, are they that close, or are they further apart?
I'll start. Not for me. I have Bullock way higher on my board. I have him as a 2nd round guy. I have Bishop as a 4th round guy.
So
I really like Bullock. I really do.
Yeah, I do too. I like him a lot. But I like the other kid a lot too.
I want to see what he tests, Bullock, but he came in he was listed at 6'3", he came in at 6'2". Yeah, it's still great size, The only thing is his tackling, but he is a ball hawk. He's a
and he makes it look easy, dude. He makes it look so easy. He's like,
you watch him on tape. his vertical, everything. I expect him to test like a freak. I expect a lot more people to be talking about him than what are talking about him now.
His ups are crazy.
Yes. It's what I see on tape, the explosiveness. I expect him to test really well. But it's also just the talent. Like, he literally is safety 2 for me, behind Tyler Nubin from Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
And Nubin's a 4-year starter at Minnesota. Like, he's safety 1. I still think safety 1 is probably second round. I have him as a first round, but he's into the first round guy for me. Like, I have him as 32. He's 32 on my board, Centauri, any thoughts on Nubin, Bullock, anybody? Chop. Hold on. Let's go to Chop first.
Yeah. Ditto.
All right. Good insight.
Well, one of the guys
I'm learning about him.
Well, one of the guys that I liked his tape, but again, I say the combine doesn't drastically change my opinion, but if you really, really suck at the combine, I have to take a second look at it. I really liked what I saw from Cameron Kinchins, and then he ran almost a 4.7 today, and it's like
he was safety 1 for a while.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing though, I have a soft spot for the U, so that one's always a hard one for me to evaluate. We all have that one school where you look at and you're like, man, this is going to be a hard one for me to. Just because I'm biased. I grew up liking the U.
He ran a 4.7?
4.65. Not
4.65 is different than 4.7.
Yeah.
It's
like half a second.
But I will tell you why it's not good for him. He's small.
I mean, he's about 6 foot 205. It's not small, but it's not big.
Yeah.
He's average size with below average speed, so you better have very good instincts at that point.
Well, I mean, his production, ball skill wise, has been damn good for Kitchens.
That's one of those ones.
He's been fringe second, third. Like, some people had him 1. I'm like, he's 4 or 5 to me this whole cycle as safety.
He's definitely, in my opinion, a day 2 pick, even with that 4.65.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things that it scares me a little bit.
100%.
But how many times have we seen?
Should make it to day 3.
No. But how many times have we seen a terrible 40 and it's like, it didn't really matter. It happens a lot.
But he was in the conversations with Tyler Nubin as safety 1, and when I watched their tape, I just was like, no, I don't see it. I don't see him in that conversation.
I didn't see him as the top safety. I definitely saw him as a top 5 safety.
He's not going to go out, even with what you just told me, and I hadn't seen what he ran or his RAS or anything. He's not moving out of the top 5. He's 4 or 5 for me. That's where I've had him for a month.
So in between Bullock and Bishop, who would you have? Because I think that's kind of like my 2-3 right there. I like both them guys. Nubin probably be my 1. Kitchens, I haven't really watched.
Well, this question clearly isn't for me because I already said.
Dale, you've got 7 guys in between those 2 players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well let's hear them because I like both those dudes, and so the main question is the value, right? Like, are you going to take Bullock in the second round, or would you rather take Bishop in maybe the 3rd or 4th round?
Well, it'd be 4th at the earliest
for Bishop.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I just liked what I saw with the kid, but I'm not a draft expert, so
I tell you who I want is George Iloka. You want to know who George Iloka is, even though he played linebacker at the Senior Bowl?
Let's hear it.
That's James Williams from the U. That's George Iloka. If you can get him in the 5th round, if you get James Williams in the 5th round,
he's big like that.
Oh yeah, he's 6'5", 230.
Yeah.
The other thing with safeties that and it sucks because it's my favorite position. It's what I coached. It's what I know. It's what I love. They've been so devalued that even if you are a really, really good safety, a lot of times that's a day 2 grade. It's so hard to be a first round safety anymore.
That's why Newman is my 32nd.
Right. He's
a fringe.
He's fringe and like Bishop. I like Bishop too. 10 years ago, he might be a 3rd round pick, maybe a little higher depending on how the board falls. But with the way safeties are being devalued and how important and how many good corners there are and how many receivers are flying off the board, and now you move into the fact that this is the 3rd and 4th rounder where running backs now get taken, your safeties that need a little bit of time get pushed back to rounds 4 and 5. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing because that's a tremendous value.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was going to say. Like, so the value is kind of my point. If you take a couple of the dudes we talked about before in Bullock in the 2nd round, but you can get this dude, let's say, in the 4th round. Are you
using that as a starter day 1, or are you just looking at purely from a value standpoint?
And we're talking general NFL.
Right. I'm not talking necessarily for the Bengals. I'm just saying if I'm
okay.
Because the only thing the Bengals should be doing is getting a veteran safety.
Yeah, I'm talking
my personal opinion.
No, I agree with that, but also I think Mike Hilton has a year left on his contract. So if the plan is to move Dax down the slot, if we can get a ball hawk dude in Bullock or Bishop, but you can get Bishop maybe in the 4th, 5th round, the value is a little different for the Bengals. I guess that's my question with you guys.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me say one thing real quick, Santori.
Okay.
Everyone is sleeping on Bo Braid from Maryland, by the way. I just want to say that because I love him. I know. No, he is way down the board for most, but that is my guy for safety.
Okay. Regarding what Dusty's asking, that makes sense if that move was happening this year.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking for is this year. Yep.
If Mike Hilton was gone this year and Dax was moving down already and I needed to have more pieces, yes, I would consider doing that as a depth piece, but I would still be signing a veteran safety first. But being that move is still another year away, it's planning too far in the future for something that we're not quite sure is going to happen. It makes sense on paper, but for right now, with the fact that your window is always open with Joe Burrow, I am wanting to stockpile as much explosive talent as I can. And if that means that they have to wait a year, or even if they're raw and they can attribute right now, so be it. I'm willing to take more gambles at the moment than I am trying to potentially fix a Band-Aid on the back end of a roster next year, if that makes sense.
No, I 100% agree, because I think in those similar rounds, you get a dude at running back like Jalen Wright that could be immediate.
Sure. I mean, you look at last year and you had Chase Brown. Would you rather have Chase Brown, someone that can contribute and pop off a 60-yard touchdown right now, or someone that's going to be a backup safety in a year and a half?
Yeah.
Give me the guy that helps me now.
Yeah. Dale knows how I feel about Chase Brown. He was a dude I was very, very high on last year.
I mean, he's a 3rd round guy for me.
Yeah, that's where I had him at. Was kind of, I was happy if I got him in the 3rd round and we got him in the 5th. So in the same, like Jalen Wright, even if we do restructure Joe Mixon, Jalen Wright's a guy I really don't have a problem getting in the 3rd round. I like Jalen Wright a lot.
I guess I'll give a little bit of the draft preview. How many people are watching right now? Can you see that?
3. We got
3. All 3 people that are watching.
I appreciate all 3 of them, because that's about what we get on average. And and I don't care. I love those guys.
I just want to tell all three people that are watching, this is a preview. Because I've had a tough time with running backs too. Like Santori knows this. And I have a cluster of guys and running backs have been one of those. 3 through 10. I'm like, I have them within 50 spots of each other overall, and I'm like, now I'm just looking for traits or somebody to blow me out of the water. And combine still could matter. But Jalen Wright, the more I watch, the more I like.
Dude, I love Jalen Wright's my guy and Marshawn Lloyd. So those two dudes, I like both those guys a lot. I feel like I got Jalen Wright a bit ahead of him, but Marshawn Lloyd be kind of a next tier dude that I really like.
I mean, and you all know this. Ray Davis loved him. The age, that's God damn it. Here we go again, Santori. The age of Ray Davis. He would literally be tape-wise close to running back 1. He'd be running back 3.
He is
because that's where I had him at one point.
He's somewhere between Darren Sproles and Ray Rice. To take their issues off the field, away from it, just thinking about the talent and the build and what they can do in open space. There's somebody that when they get the ball, you're holding your breath every single time. And it could be just a little check down and they make 1 or 2 linebackers miss, and you better hope to God that your safeties are hanging on. Because he's got home run hitting speed. He can make you miss in a phone booth. He's got great hands. He can run between the tackles, but he's closer to 30 than he is 20. That's a problem for a rookie. Now, with that being said, I am one of the people that get attacked on Twitter because I do not believe in paying running backs. I am very much...
We're not having the mix and cut.
I'm not getting into it. Okay. But what I'll say is this.
Industries! Hold on. Time out. Pause. Industries, I fucking love Industries. He is literally DM'd me personally just about the show that we do, Bengals&Brews. Shameless plug, no free plugs, but I did it.
Dusty left. Go ahead.
Yeah, you're right. And thank you, Industries. Honestly, bottom of my heart. I am drunk. Continue.
With running backs, if you don't believe in paying them past 30, that's fine. A lot of people were cutting running backs by 26, 28 years old now. That's why you're having the conversations with Mixon that we're having all over Twitter every year at this point. And you're going to continue to until something happens.
Right.
With Ray Davis, if you take him, let's say 3rd round, if he falls because of his age, right? I'm not necessarily worried about having to give him a contract extension as a 3rd round running back.
Right.
So it's well, if I love the tape and I'm here for someone that I know is going to be a rotational guy.
Santori, can I say something real quick?
I'd be willing to do it on a running back.
Where you said 3rd round. This will be one of those where it's we traded down, we picked up an extra 3rd round comp pick.
Yep.
Perfect to add a Ray Davis.
That's when I go, I'm not worried about the age because I'm going to cut him in 3 years anyway.
Exactly. That's what I was saying.
I just want to win a Super Bowl this season.
That's what we're doing, Dale. Don't worry about it. It's our destiny year. I told you.
I know. We're just trying to help the Bengals get there.
It's going to be us and the Cowboys, believe it or not, and we're going to win.
You guys know the Bengals, Elizabeth Blackburn is hey, Paw, wake up.
Right.
The guys on Bengals Army, they said that you need to pick this guy in the 3rd round.
Yeah, they're one of the 3 right now.
Wake up, Paw.
Paw.
Yeah, it's actually Elizabeth, Duke, and Industries, and that's it.
Industries is actually Duke Toby.
He might be.
It might be.
Yeah, that's his burner. That's his burner, dude.
Big Godzilla fan.
Thank you, Duke.
What's the kid from Georgia, the running back? He's kind of a later round prospect.
Which one?
Dejon Edwards, but there's Kendall Milton. But Dejon Edwards is
Milton.
Oh, Milton's the bigger one.
Yeah, I like him in the later rounds.
Edwards had better production.
Yeah, and Edwards is actually the one for the NFL that I would say that's the guy.
Isn't he like 5'8" though?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Need the man
to the draft guide that nobody else can see yet.
That's all right, Santori. Them little fellers can fit through them little holes.
That's what she said.
Oh, fuck. That's weird.
I've ruined your show. I'm sorry.
And I just said fuck. Fuck, I said fuck. Can't say fuck on this shit.
He is 5'9".
I said I don't care, bro. You guys
5'9". But he's 5'9", like 210, so he's a bowling ball.
I bet we'd get the best punter if we did it in the first round. You're right.
I fucking hope so. Dale, look what you got me doing.
You said fuck, I heard it.
Yeah, but, you got me going crazy.
It's the guy from Iowa, right? Is the best punter, I think. Just
can we not just find some kid in Europe that's like on the back end of like Manchester United that just has a boot? Be like, hey, here's $500,000. Go do it.
Hey, one of the security guards at work says he can punt, consistently 45, 50 yards.
That sounds about like what we had this year. Probably better. I think it was around 43 was.
I can punt 30.
I know a guy from Boston. He could punt 70 yards every time.
Is it Kieran from Boston?
On the phone.
Yeah, it is Kieran.
Get him on. Throw him a link.
Vidal out of Troy. Yeah, we got him in our little mock up here. I can pull that up.
What are we pulling up?
Vidal. He's the one that's 5'8". He's a little bowling ball too.
That's all right, man. 5'8".
5'8", and he ran for 1,700 yards.
How tall was Giovanni Bernard? He was a little feller.
7'5". I don't know.
7'5". Giovanni was. Jesus Christ!
He's a big old boy.
I thought he was shorter than that.
That was inches, not feet.
Oh, 7.5 inches.
Yeah,
75 inches would be a lot, though. He's still bigger, smaller than that.
No, like 7 inches. Like he's a Smurf.
Oh, okay.
He said, "Yeah, he's not." He was.
Are we talking height or penis?
Yes,
height.
Either way.
Go Smurfs. Did you want to do a mock draft before it gets too out of whack?
Yeah, let's do a mock draft, Dusty.
We can do it first. Dale, you're solid at doing that. Can you pull it up for me, or do I gotta?
Oh, good Lord!
Come on, Dale. Help me out, dog.
I'll try. I make no promises right now.
Dale's 17 Miller Lights deep right now.
That is pretty accurate, honestly. I'm not an alcoholic, but I do like beer.
I'm 5 lattes deep. I haven't slept in about 24 hours on my day off, so then 5 catch up to me.
Yeah, I can't not type anything right now. I'm gonna be
all right.
No, I'm gonna get it.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna get it. I'm getting there.
Just focus, man. That's why I tell Harper when she's shooting baskets, I say, focus, Harper. I know you're 4 years old, but you got to focus.
Right.
That is not helping me right now. Focus, Del. Focus, Chop. I know you're 13.
Chop, me and you about have the same birthday, bud.
When's your birthday?
The 24th.
Yeah, it's not that close.
Yeah, I only get one every 4 years, though. I'm not one of you lucky people like you.
Yeah, 30.
That actually get one.
33, man. So I'm older than you.
It's a fact. You are older than me.
Big fact.
Yep.
All right, let's try this. Someone put blood in
my alcohol yesterday. I had cupcakes.
So, Industrious, you're the only hope I have.
Dale, you started out this strong, dude. How many did you put down the past hour?
Don't ask him to count.
Oh man, there's math.
All right, I got
one.
You ever see It's Always Sunny? We're gonna count the liquid as it's pouring out.
I could have totally beat them when they go on this fucking. Oh god! Now I got to do this again. God damn it!
No trade.
No trades, man.
All right, there we go.
Oh shoot! Real quick, let's talk linebackers.
Let's take Jaden Daniels now.
Let's take Jaden Daniels. Let's take him, man. He's a good change of pace quarterback.
Hold on, we didn't talk linebackers, and I love the Edrin Cooper is my dude.
Mm-hmm.
I love that guy. If he's in the third, he's one of those cats I like.
I'm not sure he makes it out of the second, but yeah, if he's in the third, it's a value for sure.
Yeah, and he was on our mock earlier. That was the thing.
He's been,
all right. So
Bengals&Brews, shameless plug.
Are we assuming any positions have been fixed in free agency, or are we going as the roster is now?
Now.
Yeah,
the roster is now, and holy shit, we got Brock Bowers, Fuaga, and Newton.
Fuaga,
and
protect the investment. Fuaga.
But Brock Bowers is rated higher on my board.
Protect the investment.
On that same thing, I say protect the investment with Jerzon Newton. You know how that's going to happen? Because we don't want him going to them 3 teams that we play in our division and then him having to face them twice a year. So, yeah, protect the asset. Don't let Jerzon Newton go to those teams. Take him.
Okay, we'll do a vote. So, Dale, you was on Bowers.
I mean, he's the highest on my board, but God, I'm so tempted for Fuaga. You guys vote not.
Fuaga.
I need to.
So I'm going Fuaga, which is kind of against what I really want. I would love Bowers, and I'd also love Newton. But just saying,
Same.
We have a very similar.
This is the
lineup.
dream. This is the dream 3 on the board.
Yeah, that's really top tier scenario.
All I'm going to say is Newton is not a suggestion, Chop.
I don't give a shit what they're suggesting.
No.
So what'd you pick, Dusty?
I said Fuaga just because I think there's a big drop off after this. So I'm assuming the run there was probably only 3 tackles taken, or 2 to 3 tackles, or JC Latham was probably 1. Yeah, there's probably 3 tackles taken. So Fuaga.
Newton is in my scenario. It's Bowers, Fuaga, and Newton.
What did you say, Dale? Who'd you say?
I didn't.
Oh, I mean, to be honest, if it's the Bengals and this is the scenario, they're going to take Fuaga.
Yeah, they're going to take him.
I'd rather take Bowers or Newton for sure, but that's good. It's going to be Fuaga.
I just feel like with Frisk in the possible 2nd, 3rd round, and there's some other 3 techs that I like that could be there in that area. Now, I'm not saying they're the same as Johnny Newton, but hopefully in free agency we improve there, and also kind of do the same since we don't have any tight ends on the roster.
Sandustry said we have to take Fuaga or he's kick him in, and that's I'm taking.
Oh, yep.
But I mean, the Bauer scenario, if he's there at 18, you have to consider.
I know. I mean, come on.
And that's no knock on Newton. I love Newton. You guys know I love Newton. Oh, this is
Worthy would be. Scroll down some, because you know how I feel about Cooper. So is
what position? Okay, so we took a tackle. We took an offensive tackle. Let's look at D line need wise right now. So
Fiskey's right there.
Yeah.
I like
Fiskey's right there. I'm not mad about Jenkins either, but Fiskey's right there.
I just don't like Jenkins.
You don't have to.
I just don't like the guy.
What's your knock?
I'd rather Frisky.
He DM'd his girl.
Fisky. I said Frisky. Fisky.
I know, but it's funny. Frisky. Want to get
dude?
All right.
Oh, Dale's going quick.
Making decisions for the team.
Yeah, he did. He said
That's what she said.
Yeah,
well,
she did say it. I was there.
I gotta pee, and I'm controlling it now. So,
well, we can look at these. Scroll down some, and you can go pee.
How the fuck did Trotter make it this far?
Because he's gonna be a 3rd round pick. That's where I have him. Now.
Man, Benson's sitting there. I know there's good value in running backs later, but Benson's my number 1 back.
Who was above the 59, Javon? Who's above him? Is there anyone above him?
He's peeing.
Oh, he's peeing. Okay.
Yeah.
So he went.
I think that 59 was the first one listed.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I think so.
I love Kalen Bullock, and I just feel like if you can get Kalen Bullock and then get you can get a running back in the 4th. If you can get Wright in the 4th, I don't know. I don't know how far down he is on this board.
I just think Benson offers because he runs angry too. There's a little bit of an attitude.
Yeah, he's been banged up though, so it's like
he'd be committee here too.
Yeah,
it's not like you're relying on him as a power back or a workhorse.
Right. And you like him more than Brooks?
We're splitting hairs. Honestly, they're different backs, but we're splitting hairs. I know Brooks is coming off the injury, but I wouldn't be mad at either.
Yeah, I would say if we're going with running back here, I would probably go with Brooks just because I just see more kind of explosiveness out of Brooks.
I don't have an issue with safety though either.
Yeah, Bullock in this situation, Bullock would be my pick, just because he's a draft crush of mine.
I can be talked into safety based on that board.
Yeah, Bullock would be my pick. What about you, Chop? Did Chop leave too?
No, I'm here.
No, he's there.
No, he's just eating Cheez-Its.
All right, Chop.
Cheez-Its party.
Chop, tell me what the pick is. Or do we need to look at positions? Because
we're debating between safety and running back what we want to do.
I think we should still take a look at defensive line and
what about wide receiver?
Yeah.
Can we get Jerry Rice's kid just so I can say
right?
Jerry
just so
Rice?
Jerry Rice will come to the games.
Yeah.
Trotter's interesting in the 3rd.
Yeah.
Is there anything else at OT you want to double down? Because the Bengals do that. Nothing right now.
What about CB?
Kalen King.
I just don't.
Not right now. Not this early.
I don't know. I'm not for. I like go back to safety.
I can be talked into the kid from USC right now.
Yeah, Bullock's my dude. That right there. If I was doing this by myself, I would take Bullock in this scenario.
Sure.
There we go.
Sure. Fuck it.
Now here we can take a look at running back.
Oh, was Estime there?
Okay. Estime's over. Kalen King, Will Shipley.
Oh, but Shipley's there?
Yeah.
The idea of pairing Shipley with Chase, I think, is fun. Because your offense doesn't necessarily change when one or the other's in there.
Exactly. And he's like he is so good at catching the ball.
I love Will Shipley. I remember it was against Duke. I watched that game against Duke, and I was like, "Who is this kid?" It was early in the year. That might have been game 1, game 2.
And I think it's number 11. Number 11, Shipley.
Done. Yeah, I'm good. Shipley.
Break out the jersey.
Yeah, I'm down with Shipley.
Oh, I was just joking.
No, I was being.
I'm ready to rock and roll.
I like Will Shipley a lot.
All right, fuck it.
He's a good dude.
Watch his tape against.
Good dude. Chop says he's a good dude.
He's solid.
They sold it, Chop.
All right.
There's the LSU.
Oh yeah, get Wingo.
No, he's
Oh, speak
so
on it.
bad.
Speak
You'll
on
be
it.
great.
So bad. He can't do anything.
I like Gabriel Murphy. I do like him.
Oh
Let's
yeah.
see what else is available.
What do you guys want to look at? So just look at Javon
Oh,
Baker.
Javon Baker.
I do like
my
Baker.
dude. I
I
like
like
Javon
Howling.
Baker a lot.
What about interior O-line?
Yeah.
Nothing I care about. Oh, your Glaze guy's there.
Yeah, he's a
Blaze.
tackle still to me, but I did take him earlier because it's just like
Corner.
What about running back?
We already got one.
Oh, we sure did, didn't we?
Yep.
yeah, you said it. You said he's a good
He's
dude.
a good guy,
He is a
dude.
good dude, man. I saw his picture.
Marshawn Lloyd's still there, and
We
I
haven't
like
taken a tight end. There's Benson.
Marshawn Lloyd.
AJ Barner,
okay.
man, I like that name.
I don't know. I think you can get a better player than Ben Sinnott.
Go to wide receiver again. Was it
I would take Baker, man. I really like Baker.
Hey,
I
you
love
both
Javon
like him.
Baker.
Put him on the board. I got him as a 4th round guy. We're in the 5th round.
But
I got
my
Calvin a
vote's
little higher than
Javon.
him, but
I think that's a steal at that point in the
Yeah.
draft.
I agree.
Oh, Taj is moving. Oh, you're under wide receiver still. I was like, Taj is moving up big time.
All right, let's go back to all.
I planned on it.
Damn it, Dale.
I'm doing the
Take Sinnott now.
There you go.
Yeah, he's
Not.
Not even
There you go.
Oh, Muhammad Kamara was there.
Kamara
Dude.
gonna be 25, but Sanat was there.
Glaze.
There's your
I like-
Glazer.
I like Glaze. I was watching him a little bit ago.
I also kind of like
Delmar.
Keith Randolph, though.
What do you guys want to look at? So we got a wide receiver, we got a tight end, a running back, a safety, a D line, O tackle. So we don't
Any
have
corners?
a corner.
Let's check corner.
What round
I
are we
like-
in?
I
5?
like McLaughlin.
I don't like any of them.
Shit, yeah,
Okay.
I don't.
Fair.
Yeah, I don't like any of them. Junk.
Let me just say this. Look at the punters.
Yeah, that's not a terrible idea.
I mean, come on, we're in the
196.
5th round, right?
It's 6 at this point.
The guy that we got doesn't do real good.
The good one's already off the board.
Sons of
Well,
bitches.
Iowa kid.
Pork, you were around behind.
Yeah.
You're running late.
All right. hit
Double
all
up
again.
D line. No, I'm not.
We can get
saying
another
it's-
Miles Murphy.
We could double down on Miles Murphy.
I like Delmar Glaze. I
Yeah,
am with you.
it's
I think
it's
that's
just an easy pick.
I think that's an easy value at this point.
Brennan
Glaze.
Jackson ain't bad at edge, honestly, or Cedric Johnson.
Glaze, protect the
Yeah.
investment.
I like
All
Glaze.
right. A+. We got B+ for Fisky, but they can fuck off with that because that finna change in the next half a week.
I was hoping Isaiah Davis would slide because I would double up right there. I like Isaiah Davis.
Hunt had a really good week. I heard.
Yeah, he is a former safety.
Yeah, he's
At
awkward
Cornell.
out there.
Safety from Cornell.
Huh.
McCormick, by the way,
Mark.
here. Left guard strictly, but damn, you'd be doing good. I mean, he's played left guard strictly, but he showed a little bit at the Shrine Bowl.
I like Mason McCormick. I was asking you about Mason McCormick the other day.
And I told you, like, 57 starts, and South Dakota State is basically the new North Dakota State.
Yeah, I like McCormick. He's a dude
Okay.
that I was questioning earlier.
I'm taking him. I don't give a shit.
All right. Good. You got to be decisive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Eric All.
Yeah.
Did we take a tight end?
Can we
Yeah.
take Eric just because I know his family?
Well, I took him earlier.
Oh, we took Benson. Not.
It was the same
Oh,
thing.
I
He
like-
comes from
Miles.
such a good home. Do it. I want to see a hometown kid again.
I like Miles Cole. I like Eric All. Eric All, Miles Cole.
Eric All or bust. Eric All,
Miles
or
Cole.
bust. Either that or my alma mater, Ethan Driscoll.
Can he get the number 4 on his
The
jersey?
third offensive tackle.
Who do we take?
Ethan Driscoll.
Okay.
Is
he related to Jeff?
Nope.
He's 6'8", almost 6'9".
69.
I mean, I like it.
Fuaga right away. When Fiske, you know you're going to get production from him. Bullock, I'm telling you, I think the kid's going to be a star in this league. He could bust out, but fuck it, I'd risk it, especially in the third.
Risk it for the biscuit, would you?
100%.
Any of them can bust. It's just a matter of half the time it's just them getting drafted to the right situation. They're all talented enough.
And Chipley going where we got him in the 4th, I think that's ideal.
Yeah.
He's catching screen pass after screen pass, and we're not complaining about screen passes.
No.
He's that shifty, that good, that talented of a pass catcher.
So my introduction to him was against Duke, and that was early in the year, and I was just like, I like this Will Shipley dude. I didn't watch too many games after that of him, just more highlights and bits and pieces. But Will Shipley is a guy I like. I know he's had some maybe some ball security problems, but
yeah.
Other than that, if you pair Shipley and Baker, it's not right there. That's a solid mid round. In Glaze,
look what we hammer with the O-line. We got Fuaga, Glaze, and McCormick. Like,
yeah.
Would you feel good about the depth of the O-line at that point? I would feel better than what we had. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I like Glaze and I like McCormick because, like I said earlier in the day, I was asking you about McCormick, or it might have been yesterday, I guess, and he was a guy I liked. And for whatever reason, I thought he played center at some point, but I guess I was wrong.
Think he did at the Shrine Bowl. That's the thing. I think they were asking him to show a little more, which is good. You want to see that, you know?
Yeah. So maybe that's where I got confused with him, but yeah.
But 100%, like it was like at where he's played, it was like 57 straight starts at left guard, and it's like that's good, but it's like we need to see you get out of your comfort zone, also, especially FCS level.
And I believe he was a multi-year captain, so
yeah. But he's also, I think he's training with what's his name, Manyweather. Is that right, Centauri Duke?
He might be.
Because he talked about him, and that's when he really kind of got on my radar. Because Duke Manyweather was like, this dude's going to be a beast. Because he's training with him, you know? And he's like, this is a kid that's going to fly on everybody's radar. He's a top 100 kid. He's top 100 on Dane Brugler.
Yeah.
I don't have that high, just I haven't seen enough of him. Yeah. But I like what I see.
Yeah. Me too. I like this draft in whole. Like you get Fuaga, you get Fisk, and then Bullock, Shipley, and Baker. It's not like, and then there's not a round I feel like we really missed on. I really like Baker in the 5th round is or is he 4th? No, he's 5th. Yeah, that right there to me, I like Javon Baker a lot.
Yeah. If he's going, he has a good chance going like the 3rd round. I have him as a 4th round guy right now, but I think he has a good chance to go in the 3rd. But if he goes in the 4th, somebody's going. He has a chance to be the kid from Amon-Ra St. Brown that went in the 4th round. It could be him.
Yeah, I like him a lot, and I think he's got some pull away speed, so I'm interested to see what he runs.
Honestly, I see him as Jarvis Landry, and I get made fun of for saying that.
Really?
What do they make fun of you? What do they say?
I just don't think people agree that he could be that caliber of player.
Well, his footwork on just contested balls and sideline catches, end zone catches, is impressive to me.
So you're thinking big slot? He's a big slot.
He could be. Yeah, I mean,
that's also what we call pork chop, a big slot.
It's true. That's true. There's some truth to that, though.
But continue, because I mean, I like that is what could move him up the board for me. Is a bigger slot receiver.
What do you think he's going to run? Because I feel like there's multiple plays where you see him kind of pulling away. I feel like he's got a little bit of pull away speed.
If he's sub 4.5 with his contested catchability and upward trajectory right now, that's why I think he could go in like the third.
Yeah. What's his height? Is he 6'1"?
I was going to say, I just don't necessarily feel he's all that big.
Yeah, I feel
he's the same size as Tyler Boyd. And Tyler Boyd, I think, is considered a pretty normal receiver. I see some subtleness. I know when I talk Jarvis Landry, he's like 5'10", 5'11" on a good day. But that's just what I see with him.
He plays bigger. He plays bigger to me.
He does.
Both of those. Like, I can see the comparison. I don't hate on that comparison because when you said it, I can see it.
I just think that kind of player replacing Tyler Boyd, because let's face it, he's not coming back. I just think that level of talent, I think he'll end up being better than Tyler Boyd, especially if Joe's got time. I can almost see him being 1,000-yard receiver, especially if T's gone after this year.
Oh, for sure. And that's the thing for me is like, I think we can get a receiver in the 3rd through 5th round. Whether it's a bigger body, it's a this or that. I'm not worried about that. Give me talent.
Yep.
What do you guys feel about Taj Washington? Because he's a guy that I really like this kind of later.
I have not watched enough of him yet to have an opinion.
And
I know he's the smaller kid from USC, right?
Yeah.
But I watched him because Dusty kind of, and I know he had a good Shrine Bowl also. But like Dusty said, hey, this is one of my guys. And I watched him and I'm like, I can see it. Yeah. And I'm talking like 5th round area.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it'd be a steal. I see the talent.
This is an odd draft class for me. It's one of the first ones that I've really spent this much time with, just mainly because of this draft class, this draft guide we're working on. But there are so many guys.
It makes you nitpick things that you don't nitpick.
Well, it makes you nitpick, but there are so many guys. I'm sitting there in the 5th or 6th round going, yeah, I'd be excited to have him.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, for the average fan, you get to the 4th, 5th, 6th round, and you're like, I don't know who these guys are. We're so dialed into it right now that I'm like, all right, yeah, cool. Like him, I could see a future for him. Let's do it. I want this one, this one, this one, this one, this one.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be like Greg on draft day, and the 2nd round's going to come around going, oh, I wanted him.
And that's the thing. It's still a crapshoot at the end of the day.
Yep.
But that's me. When I watch the draft, I'm like, okay, when everybody was mad we got Miles Murphy, I'm going, no, hold up.
Dude, I love
his pro list, though.
So I'm not trying to brag here. Which
yeah, you are.
I'm going to flex a little bit. I wish I had your little fireworks, but the past few years, I got obviously easy Joe Burrow and then Jamar Chase as pre-Z picks. And then you had Dax Hill. Dax Hill was kind of a guy I pictured the Bengals taking. This is before I got on Twitter. Bengals Facebook is not the funnest thing to be a part of, in my opinion. And Dax was kind of a guy I was high on. He was kind of the pick I seen selected there, just with Jesse Bates and different situation, and then Miles Murphy last year. So I'm just saying, whoever we want in the first round.
All right, why don't you just tell us who our first round pick is right now?
Well, I did. Fuaga has been kind of my guy to fall. But if it's not him, then Verse would be. If Verse fell, he'd be a guy I would like a lot. And then Johnny Newton. It'd probably go in that order. But I don't see Verse being there. And really, I don't know if Fuaga will be there. I'm not as high on Mims as a lot of people is. So I feel like one of the DTs will be there. And possibly Mims. But cornerback, there could be a quarterback slide. That'd be cool with too. But I don't know. I'm still very indecisive. Most years I've been pretty decisive on who I think.
You still got a month and a half.
I just feel like once free agency is done with, it'll give us a lot better idea.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, boys. I'm gonna head in the house. Good show.
Right on. All right. Thank you guys. If you want to plug your shows, I'm sure if you're watching my show, you're already watching theirs. But
Chop, plug our show.
Bengals&Brews, man. Mondays and Fridays, 3:30 in the afternoon. But we're probably gonna start doing Wednesdays here real shortly.
Hey, you did a good job.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Back on the Wednesdays.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
All right. Well, yeah, I need to. I genuinely need to let my dogs out. They're going crazy. So I'm going to go do that and then go to bed and then go to work at 7 a.m.
There we go. Santori, you want to plug your show?
Right around the Natty. We do the same shit.
There we go. All right. Thanks, fellas. Thanks, everyone, for watching. It's definitely a late night. It's getting
I'm surprised
late.
Pork Chop's still conscious.
I am.
Hey,
I'm embroidering.
Jesus Christ. All right. I'm out of here, guys. Dusty, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, appreciate man. Anytime. Love it. Thanks for your input, man.
Same to you, no problem.
Thanks, Dusty.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, buddy. I appreciate you guys.